That's to give me your loyalty. That's to give me your loyalty. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's look will be this Lady Dimitrescu, and I already did the Bella Dimitrescu, and these are on the Resident Evil Village video game, the characters. I will be showing the makeup and then how I made the outfit and the hat. I don't have probably that much clips for those, but I will add all what I have. And let's start with the makeup. For eye primer, I'm using this Makeup Revolution Ultimate Eye Base. So I'm gonna use these two eyeshadow palettes, and they are both from Morphe, and the other one is the Icy Fantasy. Just gonna take first there that rosy shade and just apply it on my crease, kind of like as a base color there. And then I'm using the like grayish purple shade and just applying it on the crease also. Then on top of that, using red eyeshadow from the Jaclyn Hill, the first palette. And I'm just deepening it up with the red one and just applying it on top of the gray shade and just blending it out.
They'll be calling me royalty.
I'm taking the Maybelline's Master Kajal and just applying it somewhat on the eyelid. This doesn't get like the crease lines, so I just use this one as on the base just to get the black as it can be. And I'm gonna apply black eyeshadow and kind of like blend it on the crease with the red one. And between, I'm just gonna apply this Epic Ink Liner from NYX Professional Makeup and just do this tiny winged eyeliner, and also applying it on the inner corner, kind of like a circle this time rather than a like spike. And then packing on the black eyeshadow on top of the eyeliner and just trying to blend the crease as goodly as possible. For the face, I'm gonna use this Mehron Makeup Starblend Cake Makeup Moonlight white color, and this is like a powder foundation type of thing. You like to use these if I'm gonna do more like character kind of like, and if I would cosplay, I would probably use this one since it doesn't crease or anything throughout the day, and it's not that pigmented as maybe like a like white face paint or the cream makeup would be, but this is quite good for like characters that just have like this ghostly face. For the contour, I'm using the same grayish, like purple shade. This looks quite good, like old-ish, like as a like those old photos and like aged. So I just wanted to use this shade on the contour, and I'm gonna try to make me look older. So I'm just deepening all the like the smile lines and like those the wrinkle that come out of the nose, and just contour the nose and cheeks and like everything with that shade. I do it quite lightly first, and then I will be deepening it up later with some black. And I already have my contact lenses on, and they are the Pinky Paradise's Persona yellow lenses, and these are the same I use it on my Bella like makeup and cosplay outfit. and I think these were just perfect for that. And I also did contour and made the chest area match on the face. I did apply this light blue eyeshadow a bit on the inner corner, kind of like under the eye, and then I made the waterline black and then just blended it under the like lashes with the black eyeshadow, and then just fixing a bit on the red eyeshadow and just putting it on the lower lashes also. I did use some white eyeshadow just to bring out some of the like highlighted parts, and then I did highlight them with the Carly Bible's BH Cosmetics palettes, the white highlighter. And then taking the black and just quite lightly shadowing like the deepest part, and also applying these like eye bags and just deepening them up with the black one. And also all the other wrinkles I will be deepening them. I'm watching all time the preference picture of the lady Dimitrescu, and I'm just trying to mimic like to get me look like that. So I just tryna elongate my mouth, and I made the eyebrows kind of like a more rounder, and also the eyeshadow just more like a rounder shape, just to kind of make it look like a old person. And just use this tiny kind of like a detail brush, and I'm just gonna apply wrinkles on the like eye, and then with the same brush doing these cracks on the forehead. And I will be adding these cracks also on the chest and on the neck after I have the necklace on, so I know where I would place it. And I'm just not doing like any specific pattern, I'm just moving my brush and just taking lightly the gray color and just like wiggling the brush just to make the cracks. And also I will deepen some of the cracks with a black eyeshadow. I bought this wig just for this makeup, and this is the Webster Wigs Alexa Darkest Brown Blend wig, and it was the only one that I found that would be similar for her hair, even though her hair is black and this was dark brown, but it was enough colored to be that. And I also had to paint the hairline since my wig cap was showing, so just used black eyeshadow there. For the lashes, I'm using the Eldora False Eyelash Fairy Dolly Lashes, and I have a code for it. You can use it to get 20% off. For the lips, I did use this red lip liner and lipstick, but it was too red, so I did change it later for the Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood liquid lipstick. And I did also make the necklace by hand. Just bought some pearls and made that at work when I had always like time at between. And then the middle part, the gem, I couldn't find any like 3D print ones that would have been like good enough. So I made that with the polymer clay and just like baked it at the oven and painted it. Making it to get like probably 6 hours, like the small freaking necklace piece. Just tried to make it like just exact how it would have been. And on the go I just glued on my earrings and these golden things, pearls on top of the earrings. And the gloves, I just sewed on these black leather gloves, and then these kind of like the weapon parts are 3D printed and painted. This was the makeup part done, and if you're interested of the hat and the outfit, then you can just keep on watching. So this is how I made the hat. It's not perfect and I could have done it better ways, but I was in quite hurry while doing this, so just this is how I did it. So I had this beach hat from Shein. I did buy it if I ever would need like a hat, like this kind of hat to cover it and make it for my some of like face paints. But I did turn this to the Lady Dimitrescu hat, and I did buy this from Shein same time as I was buying like these Captain Jack Sparrow, like these hair that I would do the dreadlocks. So I had this hat already, and I needed to make it bigger since the Lady Dimitrescu hat is bigger, and I just made it bigger with this bit thicker paper, and I glued it onto the hat and let it dry, and then I sew it like just that it would stay in place with these like big stitches, and the glue did make the paper kind of like lift up on some spots, so it was not straight and it was not so great the glue for this purpose, or neither the paper. I bought this fabric that it was too thin, but it was only one that really matched like by the look how the fabric shines on the hat. So I bought this fabric and then added 2 layers of this glue fabric what you can iron on, and I just glued it on under. And then I didn't glue this top side, I just placed it there. And then I put needles on the edges and I sew it by the machine, like those edges. And if I would have more time, I would have ordered some EVA foam and maybe cover that with fabric, or just painted it, since the EVA foam is much better. Like you can heat curl it onto the shape, and like my paper wasn't so so flexible, so it was not that great to do. But I cannot get the EVA foam in Finland almost anywhere, or if I can, it's very expensive, so I always order it. I did hand sew these inner kind of like lining piece on the hat, what was there before, but I did remove it before I glued the paper and the fabric, and just made it looking like clean on the inside also, even though it doesn't really matter. And then I hand sew the top part into the like hat, also with these quite long stitches. I saw this brim to the hat. I did cut 2 of these thin pieces of the same fabric. I could have also go and buy this kind of like ribbon straight up, but I just decided to do it with the same fabric since I had some leftovers with it. And I had to do it with 2 pieces since the fabric was not that long that I could have get it around it with just 1 piece. And then I just sew it on with the machine. I sewed on this kind of like circle piece on top of the hat first, and then I placed the fabric on the shape I wanted on the edges and cut it off, and then I'm just gonna hand sew it on the place, mostly on the bottom and on the back where it's gonna be the seam. And then I made mistake by ironing the hat. The fabric was like steamed already before I placed it, but I was like, maybe if I iron it, it would be looking a bit better. But all the texture on the beach hat are now showing in these like white lines there. But yeah, that was the hat. Didn't turn out perfect, and if I would go and cosplay somewhere, I would make probably another hat that would be more fitting on this look. And then on to the dress. I have these patterns for my, kind of like these basic patterns for all the pieces, like on the skirt and the shirt already. So I kind of like mix it and put those together and made this like basic pattern for the dress. So I will try to explain this as goodly as possible, this part. So yeah, I got the pattern out and tested it first with this bedsheet fabric and made some modifications to it since it didn't sit perfectly and we wanted it to be tight fit. When it was good, I drew the new seam shapes on this fabric while it was on me, so I could get the right shapes for it. I was watching many reference photos for it, and this one is a good example and how I wanted the seams to go. So the backside seam turns into the front side and the butt area is rounded. And since the side seams are so curved, the zipper or the buttons have to be on the back seam because it's the only straight seam in this dress. The front panel, where is those wrinkles, I will place them onto the front seams but still leave the dress piece under it so it sits tightly, but it doesn't have to be full length, only maybe knee length, since the top fabric will flare out a bit under the bum, so it doesn't need to be fully tight on the bottom part. I didn't draw new patterns on the papers anymore, so I just cut the dress out of the new seams I made and placed them on to my dress fabric, and then cut all the pieces out. The bottom hem part was a bit weird and too short, so I cut the pieces out of this fabric and I cut them longer, just somewhere how I had the fabric left over, and then I trimmed it later to the good length and that it's straight. I bought this fabric and it was the only satin that I found, and this is a bit thicker and stretchy, and I wanted only the sleeves to be like stretch, so I didn't make lining for this with the same bedsheet fabric. But I did end the bedsheet fabric also kinda under the bum, so it's not needed on the bottom half. And so the flare out part is just the satin fabric. And then I just pinned all the lining and the satin pieces together and sewed all the edges so they would be on top of each other just right, so we don't want it to slide when we are sewing these parts together later on. I did sew on the zipper on the back side and attached all the back pieces together. It was quite tricky since the pieces were so curvy, but just need to pin them goodly and maybe test them before sewing those, or just sew them on with the longest stitch, so it's easy to fix if needed. And then I did top stitch them when it looked great. I saw the middle front seam on the dress, and on top of that pinned the front panel. I made this ribbon, kind of like the belt part that holds the wrinkles in the middle part, and then place it on the waist, and then all that can be sewed onto the front seams, and then I top stitched those also. Then I applied this ribbon on top of the front piece, on top of the wrinkles and all the front pieces going into the armpit, onto the other armpit, and like tied the edge out. And then this weird back piece. I first sewed this small middle seam part, and then cut just this square piece, and then gathered and kind of like ruffled them into that shape that I wanted. And when I was happy with it, I sewed them into their places. And this was quite like thick fabric, so it kinda like doesn't really look that great when it's like flying in air, when it should be laid like flat and nicely like gathered there, but that's fine. And then I saw like the shoulder pieces together, so there is now the front piece shoulders and the back pieces, like the both back pieces. And then I top stitched them and applied this ribbon what goes on the neck to the kind of like into the front piece, and like tied the edge, and then stitched it onto the front piece under the other ribbon there. And then just the side seams and top stitch those ones. Now that is left is the sleeves, and they did suck and look ugly. And I don't know why I didn't fix them right away. I did it with the same pattern than the Bella dress, and I did fix those ones, but these ones I just left them. And if I ever gonna wear it again, I will most likely to fix them, since they are just this puffy and it just doesn't fit. And these are just the normal pattern for my button-up shirt that I made at school like over like 10 years ago. So these sleeves are those ones, and they are just not perfect. I tried to make these sleeves as like tight and long as possible, so they would like ruffle up at the end of the sleeve. And I really would have wanna put the buttons on the sleeves and on the back side, but actually the buttons are really expensive in our stores. Like the Bella dresses buttons, the tiny, I think there was like 12, costed me like almost €1, so I was not gonna buy those buttons for this dress in here Finland. And if I would probably order them somewhere else place cheaper. And here is how the sleeves look like. I'm showing it on the camera, and you can see how I'm not happy with it. But it's just what it is. And this is the back side, how it looks. And after the sleeves and all, I just throw the dress into a coffee bath. This is what I have done on all the dresses that I want them to look like old. And coffee is good way. You can wash it away later if you just want it to be white again. Except my stockings didn't leave or get white, so it probably depends the fabric how it is. But I always do this on my it clothes I did, and then on my Silent Hill nurse, and it's just great way to make them look old and not just this new shiny thing. And I did put it dry up on my balcony since it dropped quite a lot of water. And after that I just used eyeshadows to dirty it up even more, and mostly just on the seams and on the like ruffle up parts in front, and then on the bottom half since it's been dragging down on the floors, and then on the sleeves that they would be like this dirtier. And you can see actually when the light shines, you can see the underdress that is just goes under the bum, like the lining. And this is the finished look. I hope you got something out of this if you're gonna make it and learn by my mistakes. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and see you on my next one. Bye bye!